Hi, Reject Nation. It's Greg Alba here.
And I'm John Humphrey.
Guys, Mark Hamill regrets sharing his Last Jedi opinions in public.
I wonder why.
We did a whole video commenting on it.
Yeah.
We did a reaction to the interview itself where he said it. I was cringing watching that video because I was like, damn.
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm not in the thick of the Last Jedi debate, out on the...
everywhere.
I know. This is the one time I sort of count myself lucky that I'm not, fanatical about Star Wars because, this is tearing up lives. For Mark Hamill to come out and be like, yeah, I had some reservations about it too. I was like, oh no, this argument is never going to end.
Well, here's what he said. I regret voicing my doubts and insecurities in public. Creative differences are a common element of any project, but usually remain private. All I wanted was to make a good movie. I got more than that. Rian Johnson made an all-time great one. Humbled Hamill. Humbled Hamill?
Because he's Mark Hamill, but now he's being humble. And sitting down.
I've had trouble accepting what he saw for Luke, but again, I have to say, having seen the movie, I was wrong. I think being pushed out of your comfort zone is a good thing, because if I was just another benevolent Jedi training young Padawans, we've seen it.
True that. And
we have?
Well, not specifically, but, we've seen it happen, in other films. Because wasn't Obi-Wan, wasn't Ewan McGregor, helping young Padawans and stuff? And some
you don't really see Anakin get trained. I thought about it a little bit later, after he shot the video for the other one. Obi-Wan retreats to Tatooine after everything falls apart with Anakin, and he's there for years. He becomes an old freaking guy.
Yeah. Yoda's all secluded in Dagobah.
Yeah, Yoda's also gone. It makes sense that Luke might also follow in the same pattern.
Seems like Jedi can get reclusive some of the time.
Yeah, when they make a huge mistake, or they fail to have foresight on something, or they're disappointed or whatever.
They go off and reflect forever in swampy...
It seems to be a pattern that occurs with Jedi. And I respected The Last Jedi because in the script, when Luke is pointing out about Darth Sidious and how the Jedi fail a lot of the time, he was looking at the track record of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, the character. I respected that because I'm like, yeah, this choice for Luke makes total sense. So I didn't disagree with it.
Well, it's later and the universe is changing and the concept of the Jedi and the Force is kind of changing. And I do think that that's a good note that he touched on, is that, it's good to be pushed out of your comfort zone. And a lot of the analysis I've seen about The Last Jedi is about that theme in general, about shifting toward the new, breaking out of the old ways.
In regards to Mark Hamill saying this, though, clearing the air, what's your take on it? Do you think he means that, or do you think... Because when I saw that interview, I was like, he seems very passionate on his disagreement. And this is also promoting the movie interview. The movie's already been made. For him to seem so passionate about the disagreement and because it's one thing to read these words. We're reading quotes from an interview. We didn't actually hear it. I feel like I might have a different response to this if I was hearing him say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but when you hear a disagreement in tone that strongly, it makes me go, he must still feel that way. This to me kind of sounds like saving his ass, or not wanting to offend the people he worked with, or offend Rian Johnson, or still give odds that he can come back as a Force ghost in the next Star Wars movie or something.
Yeah. Or maybe somebody was like, hey, I know you meant well, but this is kind of adversely affecting the fire that is raging.
Because we want the movie to do well, and we don't want it to have a bad reputation. We feel like you're contributing.
It's not bad that people are kind of divided, but if you are at the forefront of that,
this makes it look good because you're the main star of the movie.
Yeah, I don't think that this is devoid of those concerns. This doesn't seem like he was just like, you know what, man, I messed up. I feel kind of 50-50 on it. There is kind of a genuine push toward, no, the film is still great. I'm sure that that's an authentic feeling because he does a great job, and you can tell he gave his all to this movie.
That's honestly the saving grace of when I read this. This could be a PR move, or this could be him just really feeling like he has to clear up everything. The reason why I can believe he's just clearing up everything because it doesn't want to be miscommunicated that he doesn't like the film is because he does such a great job in the movie that it would be very hard for me to believe that he doesn't like the movie when the big reception too, especially, is the praising his performance specifically.
Yeah, he's terrific in it, and that's the other side of that coin. Is I feel like part of it is because he does turn in a great performance, and part of it too is I imagine he doesn't want to be at the forefront of the people who, like, he doesn't want to be the, even Mark Hamill says it's not Luke, because that's just not the position that you want to be in.
Even Mark Hamill says that's not Luke is going to be a much bigger thing people hear more than this. More people will have heard that.
Damage done.
A lot of those people will not have heard this. So.
So to a degree, I feel like this is in response to that, being like, I have to kind of cool that jet, because that is a big deal. If Mark Hamill's like, I don't really know about the interpretation of Luke either, but if that's a big issue people are debating with this film, I can definitely see why he would have the desire to come out if this came from him directly, if this wasn't somebody encouraging him to say this.
And at the same time, I think in terms of clearing it up, when he was doing that interview, he was specifically touching on pre-production stage. He was specifically touching on prepping for the role, getting ready to shoot the movie, his thoughts and feelings at that time. In that interview, we didn't really see him elaborate on after he saw the final product. And in this quote, he's talking about after he saw the movie, he realized, oh, I was wrong. I see exactly why Rian Johnson wanted it to be this way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't feel like those original feelings are necessarily gone, but I do think that the reaction is not what he intended. And this is an attempt to corral that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, do you believe Mark Hamill? Do you think it was just a PR move to save his own ass? What do you think it was? Comment below. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. You could download and follow us on the Stardust app at The Real Rejects. Follow us first, people. And also check out our Patreon. It's like a second YouTube channel over there. I got a lot of exclusive video posts.